Hi Naturally Curly World, I'm Gerilyn, and I'm back with Watch and Go, the series where we review TV shows, movies, and fun things. Today, I'm going to be reviewing a TV show that's on Netflix called Dead to Me.
Just heat it up at 300 and leave it in for 35 minutes.
Thanks, Karen.
It's my take on Mexican lasagna.
Great.
Jeff and I can't imagine what you're going through.
Well, it's like if Jeff got hit by a car and died suddenly and violently. Like that.
Well, you get that dish back to me whenever you can.
Welcome to Friends of Heaven. Looks like we have some new people here today.
I'm Judy. Jen, I hope this isn't weird. Can I give you a hug? No. Okay. I lost my fiance 8 weeks ago. It was really sudden. Since Ted died, I haven't been sleeping. Not at all. Hey, I'm up all night. Feel free to call me and we can not sleep together.
Hi.
Did you get it? Is that him?
No, that's my other husband.
Oh, you have another one? Then you're fine. Are you in bed?
Yeah.
What are you wearing?
A pair of sweatpants.
Ooh, slower.
Huh?
You're a weird person, Judy.
And it stars Christina Applegate, who was a huge star back in, I think it was the 80s and 90s with Married with Children. And then she kind of resurfaced with Anchorman. And if you've seen Anchorman, you know how stellar she was in that. So she is the lead in Dead to Me. She plays a widow who is dealing with a lot of anger issues and grieving the death of her husband. And the next person that stars, I guess her co-star would be Linda Cardellini. And you might remember her from Freaks and Geeks. I don't know how dorky you guys are, but I'm super dorky, and that's what I watched her in. I'm gonna go ahead and do my hair. I'm not gonna do anything terribly crazy with it because as you can see, it's in a protective style, but I do wanna refresh my scalp because it needs a lot of help right now. And I brought some really great products to share with you. I got this in the mail as a gift. Thank you, African Pride. And this one is great. It's the Black Castor Miracle Growth Protection Formula, Braid and Scalp Cleansing Rinse. It's really simple. All you have to do is run it through your hair, through the parts in your hair. And I'll show you how to do that. I know you know how to do it, but I'm still going to demonstrate. You don't need water really. You can put it directly onto your scalp wherever you're having any issues or wherever you want to clean, which is probably all over. Just put it on your scalp and you'll be good to go. The nozzle's really great. It's going to help you drive all of the liquid in between the parts. As I do that, I'm going to tell you about this show, Dead to Me. Her character, Jen, she is a widow. Her husband died under some very mysterious circumstances. The only thing that she knows for sure is that somebody hit him with their car whenever he was walking out late at night. She's kind of an angry person. I think that she probably is just a misunderstood person. But during her grieving process, her feelings of anger are probably exacerbated because she just lost her husband. So the next character to introduce themselves into the story, her name is Judy, and she's the one that's played by Linda. And she's a free spirit, but she's got a secret. She's got a big secret. Just my red flags went up. I really felt like Judy had something to do with the death of Jen's husband. So spoiler alert, she totally has everything to do with the guy's murder. Somehow she ends up introducing herself into Jen's life. They end up forming this very interesting friendship. I've read a lot of descriptions saying that their friendship is powerful. I disagree wholeheartedly with that. I think that their friendship is morbid, strange, incredibly violent, and at times comedic. The next person to introduce themselves into the story would be Steve, who's played by James Marsden. He's the ex-boyfriend of Judy, the free-spirited person. So you do end up catching some really strange vibes from Steve. It ends up playing out pretty dramatically throughout the entirety of the series. And get to the other side and tell you about another character who I think you will find incredibly charming and endearing. His name is Nick. In Dead to Me, he plays a cop, and he's a cop on leave. Like, he went through some stuff, some really serious stuff. And the way that he's introduced to the story is he goes to a grieving retreat, which I've never heard of. That sounds made up. But he goes to a grieving retreat where Judy and Jen are. They have a karaoke session where you're able to get up, express yourself about the person that you lost through song. And he chooses a beautiful song. The person that hears his voice and kind of gives her heart away immediately is Judy. She hears him, she feels him, and she's like, oh, I love him. I don't think she loved him, no. You know, she had the googly eyes, she had the hearts for eyes, but you should just watch to see what happens. I could just rinse this out, but I want to try this really cool product that African Pride sent over to me in addition to their protective style line. And it's called the LUXE Therapy Scalp Soother. It's got 4 teeth, and I love the spacing here. I'm just gonna use it to make sure that all parts of my scalp have been touched and massaged thoroughly by the scalp soother. So let me see, try to drive it in. But the thing that one of the things that moved me the most about this series was the fact that they were talking about breast cancer, preventative care, body image, and self-worth. So Jen, who's the widow, she actually had a mastectomy because she didn't want to get breast cancer. After she gets the mastectomy, her husband, who is now deceased in the story, he lost interest in her, and it really impacted her self-worth and her body image. And I think that's a really important conversation for women to hear. I've never heard that. It's not something I think about, but whenever I watch the show, it's like, that's so real. And I can't imagine what people go through that have been through cancer treatments, mastectomies, etc. But I thought it was I was really happy that they went there on this show. I'm gonna use one of my very, very favorite products, and I think I've told y'all about this one before. I keep using it because it works beautifully. It's the Originals by Africa's Best CORNROW and BRAID Revitalizer. It's really good. It's really thick, but it works, and I really like it a lot. Another reason why I think Dead to Me is a good Netflix series is because it addresses the topics of grieving and forgiveness. Somehow this story does it through comedy, and it's interesting. I really like that they achieved a balance. They struck a balance with a really difficult set of topics, and they make you laugh. Also, this show makes you think. If you were in this situation where your husband or a significant other is suddenly snatched away from you, like you're never going to see this person again, and then you figure out and learn who actually killed them, like, how would you respond to that? Everybody responds to a loss differently. Everybody responds to horrific tragedies differently, and to watch these people navigate those experiences the way that they do. I'm not gonna say that it was realistic, but I will say that it's interesting how people, specifically the writers, thought about how these two characters would interact with each other and address both grief, loss. It was pretty crazy. This is the Hair GRO-N-WILD Intensive Growth Treatment. I recommend this to everyone who wants to prevent hair loss. This stuff is going to save your scalp and your hair. And just work it in. Just like if you got a little hair grease and worked it on a part, it's the same exact thing. So I'm pretty much done with this protective style regimen that I tend to do. I brought some edge control gel today, and I'll be so upfront with you. I rarely ever use edge control gel. This is the Black Castor Miracle Growth Protection Formula Hold and Cover Edges Edge Control Gel. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see what happens. Do y'all know how to use edge control gel? Downward, not side. I just think that's my hair. I don't think that's edges. Does it? Looking like Wolfman over here.
Our community will come for it.
Thank you.
Yeah, but
And I just learned how to properly use edge control gel. So there you have it. I'm gonna give Dead to Me 3¼ stars out of 5, only because I don't find the friendship that they have, you know, the friendship between Christina Applegate and Linda very realistic. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like, share, and subscribe. We make these videos all the time, so we'll see you soon. Bye.